So a warm welcome to all of you. This is Matthew, who is your host for today. And today, on behalf of Christian Homeschoolers India, we are presenting homeschooling through the NIOS. Today is the 13th of March 2021. It's a Saturday, and this is the Zoom session number 5 of the Christian Homeschoolers India channel. And this will also be available on YouTube Live as well after it is edited and uploaded. So I would like to hand over to Pranuti Satyadas, who is going to introduce herself today. And after that, the other resource persons who are going to speak will share about themselves for 5 minutes each. And then we'll go on with the main presentation about how to homeschool through the NIOS. So over to you, Pranuti.
Thank you, Matthew. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to be on this platform where I'm assuming all of us are homeschoolers already, homeschooling parents. Am I right? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, so I'm first of all a homeschooling mom. My older two kids are done with school. The eldest finished with NIOS and joined college, her degree, and my son is almost through with his 10th grade NIOS, and I have a younger son who's in the 5th grade. We began our journey with the Cambridge curriculum, mainly because the kids were in a school that was following Cambridge. Then when my eldest reached the 8th grade, we started seeing the benefits of being Indian and doing NIOS, and the fact that it is accepted to get into colleges, and the kind of subjects that were being offered also were more varied. So that's how we slowly moved towards NIOS. What happened was, with the beginning of lockdown, I was able to start a consultancy, which would basically answer questions and lead people into homeschooling from regular schooling. And for homeschoolers also, what I was able to do is, especially as they were approaching grade 8 and so, started scheduling the weekly lesson plans so that they are able to complete the studies well in time to face the exam. And these lesson plans, I broke them down into weekly schedules along with tests, and with a follow-up every week, meeting them or online or offline, and making sure that they were on track. So this is something that the consultancy does. We offer it both for the IGCSE and the NIOS curriculum. So yes, that's a little bit about who I am and what I do. And yeah, I'll be happy to answer more questions later. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Pranuti, and that was a good introduction. I would now like to ask Deepak and Sarita if you are ready to just share a bit about your background and what do you do, and what is your experience with the NIOS?
Okay, let Sarita will. Okay, for mine is I am actually involved in the NIOS when my both the children were doing the NIOS. That's a time like where actually the beginning is like when we decided to do the homeschooling. Actually we have done a kind of study like that what will be the next when they reach to eight standard, nine standard, and that's how we have done kind of what is an iOS board all about, how do we go forward, move forward like that. So all those details that we have found out, and then the step by step we have enrolled them. So my children had already finished NIOS and they are in the college now.
After my kids graduated and they were in college, I started working for an NGO, And I'm still working for that NGO now, where there are girls who are doing their 10th standard and their 12th standard through NIOS. So because of that, we came to know a lot more things than we knew even when our children were studying in NIOS. The admissions and transfer of subjects from 10th standard and things like that, which we didn't really know before. So it's been a journey, and I'm still on that.
Yes, definitely. We'd like to hear more about that. We'll be asking you some questions. And now over to the next resource person over here. We have Suganti also, right? Who is going to just introduce herself. So she's around for any help, but she said that she'll just introduce herself. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I'm Suganti. I'm so glad to be a part of this Zoom meeting. Actually, I'm working in the Asian Christian High School as a NIOS coordinator. So now I'm running third year. We are moving in a third year. And most of us, probably we are very sure about the admission part, how to go with the admission part, and how to help with the children and the student portion. If they didn't understand, we are doing it for 1 month. It's a free coaching for them. In case if they wanted also for more classes, they can approach us. So we are doing it. And about the TMA and exam dates and everything, all the details which is needed for the learners, we are providing to them. So we are running a center in our school. So if anybody wants to join also, we can select our school also. So we'll be updating everything. So this is what we are doing actually.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now what we'll do is we will hand over to Pranati just to give us a little bit more of some details. So what I will do is I will ask her some questions and then she will answer. So I'll over to Pranati for, I'll just ask her, I'll just highlight her video over here and then we will do that. Yeah. Okay. So Pranati, as you mentioned in your introduction that you also have initially started with the Cambridge board, right? And then you decided to switch over to NIOS. So can you elaborate on what was some of the reasons why you chose to switch from the Cambridge board to the NIOS?
The first reason was that my daughter wanted to do a lot of arts subjects, which were not allowed for private candidates of the Cambridge syllabus. So for example, home economics, in Cambridge, it's broken up as child development and food and nutrition. They are not available to private candidates because they are practical subjects and there is a lot of internal assessments that they have to do through the year. Whereas home science is available in the NIOS system. So subjects like that, which she wanted, were more easily available. That was our initial step. And then we kind of did a little bit of research to make sure that NIOS students are on par with every other student in the race to get into colleges. And it was proven correct. So that was the second reason that we switched. In the case of my son, who is right now in 10th grade, he actually completely prepared for the Cambridge exam because he was on that journey anyway. We had to pay up the Cambridge fees last year, October. And just before that, my daughter had gotten to one of the good colleges in Bangalore, St. Joseph's, without any problem. And so when we had to take a call about paying the Cambridge fees, which was 70,000 rupees, because it is 10,000 rupees per subject, we just paused and we realized that we did the same procedure by paying 2,000 rupees for NIOS. So that was, we just paused and realized, why are we doing Cambridge? Is there a point? I have a lot of respect for the Cambridge syllabus because of the way it is founded and actually what the child studies. But probably if a child wants to go abroad immediately after schooling, after 12th grade, they should probably still stick to Cambridge. But those of us who want to do undergraduation or want our children to do undergraduation in India, I think NIOS is a good step. And then further, at master's level, they are on par with anybody else who wants to go abroad. So these are the three reasons.
Okay, thank you. So that's important takeaway from this about NIOS compared to Cambridge. What about NIOS compared to the local boards, which many parents also try for? What is your experience regarding the local boards and their openness to homeschoolers?
Are you talking about CBSE and ICSE?
Yeah, and even the state boards.
State board. So when you asking about their openness, is it about joining back into their system?
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, that the IGCSE has an option for private candidates to give the 10th standard exams.
Yes.
And that's a very expensive option. The other option is the NIOS. What are the other options that are available to parents who want to homeschool their children?
As far as I know, Cambridge, ICSE or CBSE or the state board does not allow private candidates. I don't think they have that concept yet. But I think NIOS has grown out of the CBSE curriculum. So I think that is the only Indian option as far as I know. I may be wrong. There's some of you who know more about NIOS than me. But as far as I know, I think there is no other option.
Okay, okay. I am in Maharashtra in the state board. If a child has been to school till the 7th grade and then wants to give the 10th standard as a private candidate, then there is an option for that. But other than that, if somebody has been homeschooling their entire life, then even the Maharashtra state board doesn't have that option for giving that, as far as we are also aware. But it's good to know the options, and I believe that post-COVID, we hope that more boards would open up to the possibility of home education and things like that. That's our prayer and hope. Yeah. Fine. So then when your child gave the 10th standard NIOS, how easy was it to get the resources, the books and the materials and things like that?
The official textbooks come only after a child enrolls, registers for the exam, which is probably about 6 to 8 months before the exam. But what I recommend to parents is that since we are homeschoolers, let's begin to use the NIOS syllabus from at least the middle of 8th grade. So for that, the resources have to be downloaded from the website and printed out and use that. Let's not wait for the actual textbooks that come later. And other than that, I think it was very simple. The registration process was really simple and user-friendly and with no issues at all. I think one thing to just keep in mind if you're not familiar is start checking the website about 10 months before the child has to do the exam, at least 10 months before. And here's another tip as a parent. NIOS exams are usually in April, May, which means that the other boards have already completed the exam, which means that NIOS students are the last to get their results under normal circumstances. I'm not talking about COVID time, under normal circumstances, which kind of bring down the chances of getting into colleges. So my recommendation is, since we are all homeschoolers, try to do the exam rather than in April, May of, for example, year 22, do it in October 21. So what happens is that by December, you have the results in hand and you have a good 6 months before admission processes are done. So as soon as colleges open out for
sorry, 1 minute. Can you just unmute yourself?
Yeah, so you have your results in hand by December, and you will be ready with your results when colleges open out for admissions, which would be around end of April. So that's just a tip as a parent.
So what you mean is that if the child is in the 8th grade academically speaking while homeschooling, one should go to the NIOS website and download the. So is it possible for anybody to download the resources from the NIOS website?
Yes, it is. Anyone who opens the website has the freedom to download. You have to do it subject by subject, chapter by chapter.
Okay, and then you can get it printed or you can use a soft copy. I mean, it's better to get it hard copy.
Get it
for the
printed,
child.
yeah. Because I mean, it would be like about 300 rupees for the whole textbook. So, yeah.
For all of them, it will be 300 rupees.
Approximately for the printing charge for each
Okay.
textbook. Yeah.
Mhm. So from the 8th standard onwards, the child can then start preparing for the 10th NIOS. And like you mentioned,
Yes.
to give it in October of
Yes.
the previous year rather than the wait for the April.
Yes. So
Okay.
academically, the child, I mean, you know, if you compare with a school child of that age, your child would be doing it in the middle of 10th grade rather than when the other children are doing it at the end of 10th grade. So it's like
Okay.
6 months earlier, you can aim to finish your exam. And you will have enough time because you are starting in 8th grade itself.
Right. What I'm asking is, do they have textbooks for the other grades also other than the 10th? I mean, is it that the child has to prepare in that way, or is it only directly that they get the 10th standard textbooks and prepare for the 10th exams?
Yes, after a grade 8, there is only the 10th textbook that is available. I am not very familiar with the 5th and 8th grade exams that NIOS offers because my children didn't do that, but I know there are some schools, probably Suganti will be familiar with that. But for high school, I think it is your 10th and 12th textbooks only that are available.
Okay, and do you need to have a tie-up with any school for the child to give this exam of the NIOS?
Yes, when you register, you will be given 3 options of schools, out of which they will place you in one school. So that's usually based on what is nearer to you and what is most convenient.
Okay, okay. So the school which is, I mean, does the Right to Education Act have an impact on the selection of schools and things like that?
I don't think so. I really don't think so, because I think, if I'm not wrong, so far, I've not heard of anybody who has not got the first option that they have opted for. So I think it's purely based on availability and numbers, nothing else.
So like you mentioned that there are exams in the NIOS for the 5th and the 8th grade as well, right? So
Yes.
with that in mind, I will like to ask Suganti if she is available for that, so that then we'll come back to you at the question answer session. So thank you, Pranati, for that, and I'll just hand over to Suganti over here so that she can then answer the question on this. Yeah. Yes. So Suganti, the question is, do children who are in the NIOS, do they have to do, or can they take the 5th and the 8th grade exam? Is there an advantage in taking those exams in the NIOS?
Yeah, actually, when they are doing the OB, they will be telling that is OBE, that is from grade 1 to 8th standard, it's called OBE. So NIOS, that is secondary and senior secondary.
What is the full
OBE,
form
when
of
we come
OB?
to OBE,
What do you mean by
it's
OBE?
like
What is the full form of
Open Basic Program.
Open Basic Program.
Open Basic Program.
OBP.
Yes. Education. Okay. Open Basic Education. So
Open
till 8th
Basic
standard,
Education.
that is OBE. It's called.
Okay.
Open Basic Education. That is called OBE. That's
Okay.
1 to 8th standard. And when they are calling NIOS, that is secondary and senior secondary. Actually, we have given everything. So we are waiting for the accreditation for running the OBE. But we got accreditation for secondary and senior secondary. NIOS, we got it. So we are running, this is the 3rd year for us. And thing is, when the child wants to do for the OBE till 8th standard, what are the exams? Each study center is doing in a different manner. Like maximum what they are doing from the board is allowing that the study center can conduct the exam by their own. So there is no question paper from the board. So what usually the schools are doing it, they are doing what the schools following in their school, like CBSE school, 3rd standard or 8th standard, what's the question paper, what's the textbook are they following? The same thing they are producing for them also. They are calling the child for the examination. So they are conducting the exams and giving the pass mark, like giving the results, everything.
So you mean they're using the curriculum of the
Yeah, of course, the
CBSE?
curriculum, if you see, yeah, it is also available in the net, but maximum schools are using the curriculum, what they are following. If it is CBSE school, what the textbook followed by the CBSE school, they are following over there. They are not following any peculiar curriculum. It's not like that. So it's purely based on the study center. So what the curriculum following in their school, they are utilizing for these kids also. Those
So
are
you
learning
mean to say that these kids who are homeschooling,
NIOS, those who are learning NIOS. So
yeah,
they are
so
using the
those
same text.
who are enrolled in the open basic education
Yes.
can study from home
Yeah.
if they
Only
are
for the
affiliated.
examination, they'll be calling the children to the school. For the examination time, they are coming and write their exams and they'll be giving you the results.
So this exams will be held every year, or what is the frequency of these exams? How often do these exams take
Yeah,
place?
actually, like how they are following in CBSE, year end only they are keeping the exam. Like the April, March, that is the time only they are keeping the exam. And each center is different. We cannot fix this is the date because it's the school convenience they are doing it. And each and every center is doing in a different way, which they are convenient way for the study center. That is
Okay,
the way
so you
maximum
mean,
people are doing.
so that is the studies, it's called a study center. What are the other names for
Of
this,
course.
for these centers?
For
What are they called in different parts of India?
Wherever you go, no, it's called only study center because no, when you're choosing the when you're doing the registration, they'll be asking, like ma'am said, they'll be asking 3 preference, they'll be giving it. The first one, second one, third one. So this is called study center. So which one you want to follow? So they will be giving 3 preference. So where you first one, you can choose second one. Based on the number of admission, they will be allotting it. So this is called all over world itself study center.
All right. So in the study centers, if a parent who is homeschooling wishes to enroll that child, and the child can study from home and come every year and give the exam, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
And this exam is usually based on the CBS, I mean, whichever curriculum that study center is using.
Yes, of course. It's based on the study center. For example, I'll tell you, like Bangalore, if you go, and here also. So what the curriculum using in that is school is CBSE. So what curriculum is going on for the kids, like 3rd standard, 4th standard, till 8th standard? What's the curriculum using in their schools? The same thing was only carried out for this NIS students also. Question paper, everything is they are setting from that curriculum which they are using in their school.
So
is it because they are giving freedom for this?
Okay. So is it different from the NIOS curriculum? And if so, what is the difference?
Yeah, maximum, if you see the headings, contents, everything will be same. Content will be the same. But here and there, they'll be adding few things. Not much different. It will be there.
And the child who gives this exam yearly, and then they get the results, right?
Of course, yeah.
And suppose the child has done well or not well, what is the next step after that? I mean, is there something like if the parent or the teacher finds that the child has not understood a particular subject, or has not done well in a subject in that grade, suppose it's the 5th grade, then what happens?
Yeah, of course. Actually, it's not normal education. It's not formal education where we'll teach them in school. So they'll be calling only for the doubt clarification session. In that, if the child has a doubt, they can clarify it, and only for the examination. So in case if they are not perform well, they won't promote actually.
Okay.
They won't promote.
So they won't promote. So then the parent will have to make sure that the child. So then what happens? Do they get to give the exam again the same year, or how is it then?
Not same year. Not same year. Next year only they will be giving it.
So you mean the child will have to then give that 5th grade exam again after a year? But if the parent says, no, we would like to, yeah.
Yeah, actually, as I said earlier, each study center is different. Because NIOS board is giving the freedom to the study center till 8th standard. So till that they can, it's based on the study center what they want to do it.
Yeah. So,
But actually the procedure is like that.
okay. But you, Pranuti mentioned that there is a NIOS exam on the 5th grade also. Is that also there, or is it only directly at the 8th grade for the NIOS, the exam which the NIOS conducts
Yeah,
by?
actually, according to NIOS, they are telling like 1st, 5th, 8th standard. But maximum schools are here, what they are doing it, they are conducting like first standard first 1 year, second standard another year, like consequence how they are doing the same school. The same way only they are also bringing the NIOS children also. They are not keep conducting the test like first standard, then 5th standard, then 8th standard. It's not here. I am talking about the schools over here. They are not following like this, what the board says. They are doing as it is. Only the name will be varied like NIOS students, and they are doing this studies at home. This is the major difference you could find between the CBSE or what are the curriculum students between them and the NIOS learners. But maximum the schools over here, they are doing it, what they are doing for the same school, like whatever CBSE or ICSE, whatever this, the same thing. Okay, first standard, one test. Finally, they'll be conducting. Then next year, they're promoting as a second standard. So like 3rd grade, 4th grade, like that, each and every grade they are coming. So once they reach the 8th standard, when they come for the grade 10, they're studying combined together, like 9th standard portions as well as 10th standard portions. It's combined they are studying. So by time only we have to follow what's the board rules, because the question paper, everything set up from the board only.
Okay.
So by time we had to, all the study centers should follow the NIOS rules.
All right. All right. So since we are talking about homeschoolers primarily here who wish to take control and take charge of their children's education and have a degree of flexibility in the way the child is learning based on the child's individual giftings and other activities. Often the child may be doing more of sports and things like that, or various other things, or the child family may be traveling. So in those cases, if the family is not able to focus purely on academics every year, and they say that, okay, we want to just give the 10th standard NIOS exam for a child and we want to prepare for that rather than go every year to the school and give an exam, then what happens?
Yeah, in case your question is if they didn't complete 8th standard, like, right?
Yeah, I mean, they
Every
didn't
year
give
they cannot go to
the
school.
family decided that they don't want to give an 8th standard exam or any exam in between, and we
Yeah,
would like
fine.
to
Yeah,
directly
but
give the
thing
10th
was, yeah, of course, that there are possibilities there. Thing was, you had to, they have given the minimum age limit. You had to be 14 years should be. So if you have, there is no upper age limit. So minimum age limit they has given like 14 years. So once you crossed 14 years, in case if you didn't study for 5th standard, you didn't appear the exam, 8th standard, you didn't appear the exam, no issues. You have to give a self-certificate like I'm eligible, I'm able to do that grade, secondary grade. If you given a self-certificate, that's more than enough. So you can go to
Okay,
the directly, you can go to the
10th
second,
standard. So when
10th
you
standard
talk about
secondary.
this certification, self-certification means
Sure,
who
yeah.
certifies? Is it the parent or the child who has to write that?
Yeah, child. So for example, I'm a student, I want to join 10th standard in NIOS, but I didn't come over 8th standard, I didn't finish, but I have the eligibility to do it. I'm able to do that. So I can write by my own, this is my name, I'm certified by myself, I'm eligible to do that, I'm able to do that. So only thing condition is age limit should be, minimum age limit should be 14 years.
All right.
So once I cross the age, I can go with that.
Okay.
Children, many children know in our center also they are doing like that.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for the inputs regarding the OBE. Now I'd like to ask Deepak and Sarita to share something from their journey on how they have experienced in their personal life about this thing. So Deepak and Sarita, can you come on?
Yeah, some of the things that I discovered after I was teaching in this NGO was if a child has answered a Maharashtra board or any other board exam in the 10th standard and has failed, they can transfer 2 subjects from the 10th standard while they're doing the admissions. So then that child has to answer only 3 more subjects. So
No,
that
so
is
can you
what-
explain that a little bit better? I mean, what is the, you said the
Yeah.
child who has not passed.
Asked. So if
Okay.
a student has answered 10th standard in any of the local boards,
Any board,
any
whether
board,
it is CBSE or HSC
Yeah.
or local board or a central board.
Maharashtra board, yeah.
What about CBSE
And-
and ICSE?
Yeah, even that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, so instead of enrolling for all the 5 subjects, they can transfer 2 subjects marks, which NIOS has. So suppose NIOS has English, Hindi, maths, and this child has passed in these subjects in the Maharashtra board, then they can transfer any 2 subjects marks, maybe which are the highest scoring, and then they take admission for another 3 subjects in NIOS. So with those 3 subjects, they will answer the exam and they can pass the 10th standard. So they don't have to do all the 5 subjects. That's what one thing that I learned. And then there is a change of subjects. You can also change your subjects. Suppose you took some subjects and you realize that I cannot cope with these subjects, then you can change those subjects after a year. 1 year, if you've got to answer 1 exam, you can't just change it immediately. You've got to answer at least 1 exam with the subjects that you have already enrolled yourself, and then you can change the subjects that you don't want.
Okay. So this is
And-
applicable for the 10th grade,
And the
that is,
12th.
and the
Both.
12th, both.
Yes, yes.
All right. So if I'm hearing you correctly, that means a child who has given the ICSE or the CBSE or the state board exam and has cleared maybe 3 subjects and has not cleared 2 subjects, then the child can opt for taking the remaining 2 subjects or any other combination of subjects in the NIOS. That's what you mean?
It's only for 10th standard.
Only for 10th standard.
10th standard. The transfer of credits is only in the 10th standard, from 10th standard of any other board to 10th standard of NIOS.
All right. So in NIOS, you can then choose to give only those 2 or 3 subjects
3,
which the
yeah.
child, I mean, it
3
can be any
3
number of subjects or it has to be a minimum number of subjects in NIOS.
Maximum is 7. Total subjects you can choose is 7, but you can pass in 5 and that's enough.
No, what I'm asking is if the child has already passed in 2 or 3 subjects
2,
in the other
yeah.
board,
Yeah.
then the
So you can
remaining,
transfer only 2. You can transfer only 2 subject marks,
okay,
and you'll have to study for another 3.
okay, so that the minimum is 5, like you said,
Yes.
5 subjects
Yes.
minimum. So 3 other subjects can be taken. There is no compulsory subject in that then,
No.
in NIOS that you have to take.
No.
All right. Okay.
But the subjects
Yeah.
that you're transferring have to be from the subjects that NIS offers.
Yeah, obviously. Yes.
Yeah.
Would you want to add anything else? Anybody else, Pranuti or on to
Yeah,
this?
sir, I'll just add one point with her.
Yeah.
What she said, the TOC, it's available, transfer of credit, that is allowed for 2 subjects, but that is in within 3 years. In case the child completed the studies, he failed or he or she failed in 3 subjects, but that time limit is there. Within 3 years only, you can do the transfer of credit. In case if it's crossed 4 or 5 years, the child cannot do the TOC, transfer of credits. It's not available by the time because they have given the time limit is within 3 years you have to do that. Thank you.
Okay.
Just to
Okay.
add,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
the
Pranuti.
number of subjects required by an Indian college for PUC, that is grade 11, is 5 minimum, and same for degree. But I would recommend that they do 6 subjects in grade 10 at least, just to be on the safe side, and 5 subjects in grade 12 is perfectly fine.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So that is a good overall understanding. Thank you all for that. So we are seeing here that parents have a good option in the NIOS, and I know that there are at the same time certain challenges with the NIOS system itself, because of which many parents are hesitant to use this. And as I can see from the chat, there have been some questions from some people who have been asking about how the. I'll just go through the questions now because I think it's time for us to open up for that. There is one person who is asking, my name is Sriparna, higher secondary student of NIOS board. It has been 2 years and I haven't received my book yet. I applied it in Bengali. How can I get them? Can you give me any suggestion? And I mailed them also and did not get any reply from them. So anybody would like to answer that? How, what is the issue with the person is saying they have mailed and they have not got the books? Is there any other way? How can they get the books?
Can I say something? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, where is she from? That
Bengal, Bengal.
Bengal. Okay. See, one of the things what we discovered, there is a issue in books in NIOS. Okay, there are sometimes books comes half. Suppose you have taken a 6 subjects, you sometimes you get only 4 subjects. 2 are always not there. Okay, sometimes you get only 3 subjects. Okay, sometimes books are delayed for a year. Okay, so that is why I think from the beginning that Pranuti said, there is an option available on the online. There is, we have to download the thing and start studying. Okay, but also you may find sometimes those subjects sometimes not there on online. Okay, sometimes it happens. Okay, so the only option is that what I used to do is catch hold of the regional office that is in Maharashtra regional office in Pune. We used to call there and ask the coordinator. Even a lot of times I have spoke to the area manager of that, Pune. This is a issue children are facing, even our students are facing. What is the thing? They said it is not in our hands, it is only in the Delhi. So for Delhi people, it is very easy. They can just go to Delhi office and just find out, but for other people, it is very difficult how they will travel. So this has been issue of NIOS, not from now, it is from the long time, the time that our children are studied. You can say 10 years back. It has been, and they have not, yeah.
So we can hope and pray that they definitely improve. I think with digitalization and the progress that India is making, we hope that this important board, the NIOS, will be able to help more and more parents and teachers in the coming years, definitely. And I feel that the government is taking a lot of steps to make that happen. And we are definitely going to support any government that is going to help in making NIOS more user-friendly, more parent-friendly, more child-friendly, whatever it is. Yes. The exam which is held in April, the results come a bit later than the other boards. It is recommended for the child to appear for the one in October so that the results will come by the time the other boards exams results also come, so that the child can then give the exams in that. So is that understood and is that correct? Can the resource persons just confirm that, and if you wish to add anything else on that, Pranuti or
yes.
Suganti?
Can I please add something? There is also an option of on-demand exam if the child is not ready by October. On-demand exam is an exam that you go to your regional center and you do. You register for it just like the regular exam. But here the difference is that you can choose your dates. So my daughter did her exam in February rather than doing it with everybody in April. So here again, you get your results 2 months after you do your exam. So that's just another amazing feature that NIOS has, and you can use that.
Wonderful.
I want to share one more thing that I came to know about NIOS. So if you have chosen a particular medium of learning, that's in English or Hindi, for some reason you want to change that, you want to answer in another language, there is an option which you have to fill the name of the language that in which you will be answering that subject. So
Okay.
that's something
And how
else.
many languages are available to the student? What are the varieties of languages that are available in the NIOS for giving the 10th exam?
I'm not sure, but I think whatever list of mediums are there, they can choose from that. So we had a scenario where this girl had done her 10th standard in Marathi medium, but then she had one subject to clear when she came to us, but we couldn't get hold of any books or even a guide of that subject. So we asked her to learn it in Hindi medium, and she wrote Hindi as the language, but she was still a Marathi medium student. So that is where I came to know about that.
Okay, so there's a question that there's a talk about NIOS having 3 languages instead of 1. Is that true?
No, you cannot have more than 2 languages. That's another thing that happened this year. When they did the admission in the previous NGO that they were in, they had passed in some languages, and so they took another language. They were choosing the other 3 subjects. So they transferred the TOC. They had done their 10th standard, but they had failed in three subjects. So they had already taken Hindi and Marathi, and they took English again. So because of that third language, third subject being another language, they couldn't clear that exam. They had to take another subject that was like a painting or something, and then they passed. So only 2 languages.
So this will be told to the child they even enroll for the exams, right? Or is it told
Yeah,
at the
it's
end?
there. It's there in the NIS.
So they were allowed that subject at all when they.
Yeah, so they've written a minimum of 2 languages is already mentioned, but even how they got the third language is a mystery. But then when the child got her results, she passed in that third language and the 2 subjects. But then because it was a third language, it was like 2 languages, she was not promoted to the 10th. So we had to take another subject that was painting, which was lesser chapters. So she then answered that quickly in October, and we're waiting for her results.
So when Praniti mentioned about the on-demand exam, would it have been possible for this girl to take an on-demand painting exam?
Yes, I think there is a small time frame. I think 1 month ahead. If I'm not wrong, it is about a month notice that you need to give the board, and you can do the exam. To add about the languages, for those of us who are, those of the children who are doing English as the medium, you need not 2 languages. English itself is considered as a language when you're applying for college. So unlike schools where you are forced to do either Hindi or French or something else, English itself is enough for applying to college.
Okay, all right. Another question is, computers considered a language? That's a question from Gillian. So I guess the answer is no. It's not a language. What is it then?
It's one of the subjects.
Okay. So I guess children don't take more languages. That's also a challenge. They are one. So minimum, the minimum language requirement is in 1, right? In NIOS. Okay. 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 And there are some more questions here. Yeah, there is somebody has made some comment about that instead of printing the material, where can we buy the books for the 10th standard? Are there places where you can buy these books?
Books are not available to buy. you get unofficial guides, but they are not specifically from the NIOS board. But so again, I would say print your material.
Okay. So does the material change every year? Okay. So somebody who has printed it last year can pass it on to some other parent who is okay.
No, every year it won't change the curriculum. Syllabus won't change every year.
Okay. But do the children have to write in that or something, like, is it used as a workbook also, or?
No,
Only the
it's a
textbook.
textbook.
Okay. So once it is printed out, the parents can then, if required, connect with some other parent and pass it on or something like that. That's what you mean. That is possible. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, then, how are the practicals for science done in the 10th standard NIOS?
Hold பண்ணணும்னா
Do you
இதெல்லாம்
want to
பண்ணவே இல்லையே.
specify who should answer it, Matthew?
Anyone can answer it. Anyone. Yeah. How are the practicals? Pranati, you can answer.
Okay. Yeah. So there is something called PCP classes, personal contact program, I think, if I'm not wrong. That is once you register with the school. So for example, in Bangalore, if you've registered with Clarence High School, 3 to 4 months before the exam, these classes begin. And that would be every Saturday, the first half of the day, where the child actually has to go to the study center. Over there, your teachers will guide you about your practicals and the completion of the records.
So that is a good way to understand. But what about the exams? In the exams now, how do they conduct the practicals in the final exams?
The final exam, there is nothing like a practical. The practical marks of that you do, the practical exam will be conducted during these PCP classes, and that will be added to your paper. You'll want to add something about that from the NIOS?
Yeah. Hello. Here, before 1 week, when they're announcing the exam dates, before 10 days or particular date, they are fixing from the study center. They'll be fixed date. They'll be giving, like, from the board, they're telling like 14th February to 20th February, you have practicals. So they'll be giving a time, because based on this time, the study center, what will they do? They'll be calling out the children. Okay, this day you have to come for the science practical and painting practical. They'll be giving a date. So the date is finally fixed by the study center. The board has given a combined date, like 14 to 20th, your practicals. So study center will allot the date for us. So the child should go to the particular study center during the time. They have to do the practical. So it has done like that only. So far it's going on like that only here in our area. So children are those who are registered in NIOS, they are calling, when the study center calls us students, they are going over there and doing the practicals and submitting records and all those things. After that only they are including the marks, everything. So doing so far like this only. Before the 10 days, when the board gives us a date for the examination, the practical examination, during the particular time only, here the study centers are doing it. Not during the PCPs. Here.
Okay, can I add something? For the practicals, there is a home science, there is a computer. So like after in 7 subjects, suppose you choose all 7 subject doesn't have this. So the marks of 100 marks are being divided. So the 20 marks is always for the tutor mark assignment. It's called a TMA. Practicals goes for around 30 to 40 marks, and the rest of the marks goes for theory, like you can say 60. So these are the ways the student has to go through. So when you enroll for a thing, there is after you need to give the TMA. It's called a tutor mark assignments. It's better to give all subject first. All 6 subjects has to submit tutor mark assignment. So when the time comes, exam, suppose if since there are 2 exams for the year, April and October. And suppose you choose to give 3 subjects for the April month. So the only practicals for the 3 subjects will come to you. However, you are registered for the 7th. So the as Sugandhi said, just before 1 month or 15 days, you will have a practical assignments will be given to like how the hall ticket comes for the theory exams. There is a hall ticket come for the practical exams also. So that you need to go to the study center and give the practical exams. That's the way it happens.
Yeah, there are proper practical exams happening in Mumbai. Like for home science, they will ask you to bring a first aid box, or they'll ask you to prepare some food like a wholesome meal. It's a part of the theory subjects, the topics which are mentioned in the theory. So they'll ask you to make some things and bring, and they'll ask questions from that. You know, what are the things that are there in the first aid box? What are the uses and things? For painting, there'll be some drawing they'll have to make and things like that. So there are proper practicals, and they have to submit a journal that day. So yeah.
Yeah, actually, when the child is, for example, first year, the child wants to appear in only one exam. For example, we'll keep English. But what about the TMA? TMA, the child has to submit all the 5 subjects. What the subject chosen by the child, they have to submit all the 5. Though they are writing only one exam, they have to submit the TMA assignments for all the subjects.
Yeah, that's true. All the subjects you have to submit TMAs, but it is also depend on the study centers. There are some study centers in Mumbai which we have because many times we change the study centers. Okay, so one study center say, okay, you just bring whatever you have applied for 3 subjects. You know, the last month that once one of our student has changed the study center. I was interacting with the supervisor of the study center. They said, no, you have to submit all 5. So, and all 6. So there is not a rule, but it is like they say it is good to submit. So, but sometimes what happens, see, like child is giving a 1 subject, okay, and then they have to submit all 6. It is depend on the study centers. Sometimes it's not a happen. This is what we have noticed, but we have advised parents or teachers or something. It's good to submit all TMAs. It is better.
Yeah, Deepak sir, actually it's purely based on the study center.
Yeah.
But the board will open the marks for the TMA. The study center has to give the marks to the TMA. But some adjustment by doing they have to give the marks for the 5 subjects. They cannot give any excuse to the board. They might be enter some marks in that. They may be accept the 3 subjects, but remaining 2 subjects they have to give the marks. They have to upload for the board. It's the adjustment with the study center. That's what from the beginning I'm telling. It's all based on the study centers. Sometimes those who are not submitting.
About do you get textbooks only for 8th or 9th as well? So anyone can answer. The textbooks. Do we get textbooks?
Yeah. Textbooks for grade 10th and 12th only you can find in the website, sir. Moreover, for the separate 3rd, 5th, 8th, if you find also, what I'm telling, as I said earlier, like it's based on the study center. So better they can consult with the study center, what they have chosen. So what the curriculum they are following. So it's depend on study center. Till 8th, what's the study center frame the questions, they have to answer for that question. So better, I feel it's like they can approach the study center.
Okay. Okay. So you're saying that it's better to approach the study center. Now, like we asked earlier, these study centers. Now, I understand that you also have a study center, right, Sugandhi? And what about you, Pranati? You also running is it called a study center or?
No. I'm a personal tutor, not tutor, personal coach for any homeschooling child who wants to prepare for the NIOS exam.
Okay, so how do you coach? I mean, how do you personally coach them? What are the media or ways in which you coach children?
Okay. As I mentioned earlier, those of us who are doing homeschooling from the beginning, nothing against the NIOS, but I think it's a good exam to pass. But from providing wholesome education to our children, it would be wise to use other syllabus also, other curriculum also, like your Cambridge board or your CBSE or ICSE, as Suganti also was saying. So for us homeschoolers, if we use Cambridge up to middle school at least, and then whatever else we're doing after that, what I do is that I break up those portions into measurable amounts that a child has to complete. So if they are, for example, preparing from 8th grade for the NIOS exam, which they're going to give after 1.5 years, I break it up and then I make sure that I give the child the portions for the week by Sunday evening. And then by Friday evening, they have to send me all the notes that they have written. And then as soon as they complete a chapter, I give them a test. So these are some of the things that I do so that they don't have to go to a study center to do this. They can do this from the comfort of their own home. And I update the parent to make sure that they are in sync with what the child is doing, and then give them mock exams and mock tests and things like that.
So how many hours a week on an average do you connect with the child and do you expect the child to spend on academics?
Because it is high school, I would recommend 1 hour per subject, which is really good.
1 hour per day.
Then per day, per subject, for the 5 to 6 subjects that they are doing. That is ideal, but 45 minutes is also fine. And I connect with them only once a week for 1 hour, just to make sure that completed everything that has been prescribed them the previous week. So in a sense, it is out of the parents' hands, but there is accountability. Basically, it is accountability, like a coach. That is what I do.
So you mean to say 1 hour per subject per day, and how many days in a week do you?
Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Friday.
So then I allot like, okay, so for maths, this to this amount you do on day 1, this to this amount you do on day 2. And finally, on day 5, you submit it all to me.
Okay, so it is all online, what you do usually.
Right now, it is online, yes. But yeah, if there are children close by, then sometimes I meet them. But right now, everything's working online.
All right, all right. So I think parents can connect with you regarding that. Are there other people, or do you manage all the subjects yourself?
This is only from a coaching point of view. I do not teach the subject, but if teachers are required, like for maths or science, these subjects I do not handle, I can recommend personal tutors to you. I am based out of Bangalore, so my connections are mainly in Bangalore. Right now with online, I guess it really doesn't matter. But this is something we help, just providing tutors. But there are some subjects that even I teach, the more art subjects I also teach. So those would be like approximately 1 class a week to keep it going.
Okay, okay, great, great. And if the parents are interested, maybe you can give your contact details in this chat so that they can, yeah, so there are people asking for it. So the contact number, email ID, website, whatever it is, that would be useful. And Suganti, how can you help our parents across India and the world who are watching? Can you give some help to parents in any other way? You said you have a study center, right?
Yeah.
So would you be able to help students who are not in your locality, but who are spread across other parts of India? Would your study center be able to help them in any way?
Yeah, during this, I'll just have a word with my management. Then I'll come back to you, sir.
All right, okay. management. Thank you. And, yes, so Pranati has put her details, contact details. Deepak and Sarita, in any way, can you be of help to other aspiring NIOS students in any way, and if so, how?
Yes. As we both are actually teaching NIOS students. Okay, so any subjects we are teaching except maths and science.
So please give your details.
Yeah, I'm based
also,
in Mumbai. Based in Mumbai. So
Deepak and Sarita are based in Mumbai, and they are able to help anyone anywhere in India. So Deepak and Sarita, please give your website, email, and other contact details.
yeah, we don't have any website, but we got telephone number and email.
Whatever you have.
Yeah. And
good
also,
to-
if anybody needs any kind of student need any guidance, any kind of teaching, since it is online now, we can help. We can't come to your state, but from wherever we are, we can just
Yes.
guide you. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks to COVID,
Yeah.
we are all connected with physical distancing. We are socially connected. Yes, definitely. Yeah, there are. I need a tutor for my maths tutor for my son enrolled for 10th standard with NIS already. We have some queries from parents who are looking for help. So definitely there is something where we can take this forward, and we will be sharing these numbers along with the video on the YouTube also, so that those who are not able to attend can also benefit from these resource persons. Thank you for the time that you all have given to this today on a busy Saturday. And I'm sure many parents will be blessed because of this, so that NIOS is a viable option for homeschoolers to enable their children to give the 10th grade exams. So far, we have spoken only about the 10th grade. Would any of you like to share anything about how it can help students who are in the 11th and 12th so that they can give the 12th grade exams? Will the NIOS be of help for that? And if so, how? So I would like to ask Pranati first, and then I would like to ask Suganti and then Deepak and Sarita about the 12th grade NIOS.
Yes, you can do your 12th grade exam. There is nothing specifically called 11th grade exam in NIOS, but with the gap of 1 year after grade 10, please correct me if I'm wrong, Suganti and Deepak, but with a gap of 1 year after your 10th grade exam, you can write 2 or 3 exams as 11th grade exam, and in your 12th, do the remaining 2 subjects.
Okay, anybody else would like to add anything to that?
Yeah, of course, sir. What she said is correct only. What is the age? Minimum age is also 15 years only for admitting for 12th standard. But once you completed the first year 10th standard, immediately you cannot join senior second year. That is 12th standard, immediately you cannot join. So here there is no 9th and 10th, 11th, 12th. Combined together only. As I said earlier, 9th and 10th portion combined together, that's grade 10. So grade 11 and 12 combined portions only you can study as a grade 12. In that, once you completed 10th standard, 1 year gap, it should be needed. In case if you are going suddenly to the next year for, you can register, you can go for the admission, they will be admitting you. But thing is, you have to study 2 years. First year itself, if you want to appear for all the 5 subjects, it's not possible. So you can go with maximum 4 subjects you can choose for the exam. So remaining 1 subject you have to do in the next year. Like you can go by ODE, or you can wait till the end of the year to write the exams. But 1 year gap is necessary. It's essential for 10th and 12th.
Okay. And for the 12th grade, Deepak and Sarita, you want to add anything to that?
No,
for the 12th?
that's fine. Whatever they told is correct.
Okay. And suppose the child wants to give the subjects after, like you said, 2 years. What are the minimum number of subjects? You said is 4 in the first year you can take, but at least 1 subject should be kept for 2 years gap after you give the 10th grade exams.
Yeah.
Okay. And
12th standard.
how many what are the subjects available? Like in your regular stream, you have a choice between science, commerce, arts. But what about the NIOS? How is the subject mix and choices available in 12th grade for NIOS?
Yeah. So when you come for the 12th standard, you have to fix what's your goal, what you're going to admit in a college. Like if you want medicine, if you want to go to the medical line, of course you have to choose biology. Like what is the condition given by the college, you have to satisfy it before you choosing your groups. So that streams, when you're going to choose the streams, you should be very careful that what are you going to become, for what's the college requirements and what is their rules and regulations. So for example, for medicine or engineering, you have to go with biology and mathematics. So what is your goal? Before choosing the stream, you have to be very clear in that, so that you can, what's the qualification needed by the college also, you can satisfy that.
Got it. Got it. So that is, so you mean to say that the child is pretty sure that he's going to take maybe one of the science streams. But suppose the child says, I don't want to study maths, I want to just get into life sciences or medicine or something
Fine.
like that.
Yeah.
Then the child has the option to leave leave maths altogether. Is it so?
Of course, yeah. It's like they have given a page like where they can select all the subjects. So they have given a group A, B, C, D, E. So under the group, they can select one subject. So they have sort out the subject, group A, group B, group C, everything they'll be. So from that minimum, they can select 5 subjects, maximum is 7. So under the group, they can select the 5 subjects. So if they want to leave some subjects also, it's possible.
All right.
And just from a parent's point of view, if it is not very normal or often that a child at the end of 10th grade is 100% sure of what they want to pursue in life, the safe option would be to continue with science and maths, for the simple reason that all your doors are open for you after that. But on the other hand, like my daughter, for example, from 7th grade, she was very clear that she is going to pursue arts. She's got into social work right now. So she was confident about dropping maths and science. Her subjects were purely arts, that is home science, painting, psychology, sociology, etc. So, so if your child is not very sure, or parents are not very sure, make sure that you take your science and maths.
All right. All right. But if the child, after joining for the NIOS 12, finds that any subject which he or she has chosen is difficult or is not able to understand, then what are the options available?
I think Deepak or Suganti should be able to answer that more technically. There is a way of changing subjects, I think.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as the 10th standard. You can change your subjects.
Okay, you can change the subject. Okay.
Yeah, actually last year, some of our students, they passed the 10th standard and we've taken them, enrolled them for the 12th standard this year. So they can answer 4 subjects. So I think if someone wants to, just split that into 2 years, then they can take admissions immediately after they get their 10th standard results, and then answer 3 and 3 or 4 and 2, whatever combination. That's worked for us here in Mumbai.
Can I also suggest that something we do in our consultancy is also offer a career counseling after grade 10. You require to have your 10th grade marks for better assessment. Here it's not a foolproof method. I'm sure all parents will agree to that, but it kind of helps finding what your child's aptitudes and potential is, and pursue in that direction. This is, I would really highly recommend this wherever to get this done, a career counseling after grade 10.
All right. Yes, that's important. I feel that aptitude testing and career counseling is important at all different levels, I feel. Okay, there's a question regarding if my son writes the 10th grade in April 2022, can he write the 12th grade in 2023 October? It will be like 1.5 years. So is that possible? It's not possible, right? You need to wait for 2 years. That's what I'm unable to understand. Because if the child is going to give the 10th grade in April 2022, that is April next year, and then can he give the 12th standard in October 23?
Yeah, see, actually, can I answer this?
Yeah, yeah.
See, as we have said, there are two exams. One is in the April, one is in the October. Okay, now she said that she will finish her son's exam in April 22. So that means the result will come in May 22. Then she has to take a
May 23.
yeah May. Then she has to take a admission in October 22. Okay, so when she enroll for October 22, another 6 months has to go. So she cannot answer immediately in the April. So the next exam will be October. She's right. She can answer in October 23. So when you enroll for a admission, the immediate exam you cannot answer. You have to skip that out. So like if you go for April, October exam, you cannot answer. You have to answer in April. So that's the way, as a parent, we need to understand.
All right. Okay. I hope that is clear. There's one more question regarding with regard to the grading or the marks which are given for the class 10th exams. How does it compare to CBSE or ICSE? The marks for the class 10th exam.
From a college point of view, I think they take it as is in India. But if it is abroad, I think they have a different grading scale, which they will convert and then take the marks. I'm not very familiar with this, but NIOS would probably grade lower than a Cambridge exam. But in India, it is all looked at as is printed on the mark sheet.
All right. There was another question which came earlier. Is Pratham, which have exams for 3rd, 5th, and 8th grade, a part of NIOS or a separate organization? Pratham. They hold exams for 3rd, 5th, 8th grade.
Yeah, actually from the central government, they have opened OBE separate. They'll be dealing as a OBE separate, and the NIOS secondary and senior secondary is entirely different. But it's working under the same unit, central government board.
So Pratham is a part of the NIOS, is it? Or is it a separate organization? This Pratham, which has
Yes, OBE.
OBE. So it is another
Same
name for
but different part. Open basic education. Yes.
Okay.
So NIOS is secondary and senior secondary.
Okay, okay. And is there a way to find out where study centers are located in a particular city, for example, Bangalore or anywhere else? How do we find out?
Everything is available. Yeah, everything is available in the website.
In the NIOS
so if you type
website,
the study center, NIOS study center, yes, NIOS study center in Bangalore. If just Google it, you can get it.
Oh, wonderful. So Google has got all the answers there.
Yes.
All right, great. There's another question. Does NIOS have a professional course or any diploma like D.Ed or Polytechnic, etc.? Yeah, after the 10th or 12th, I mean, they're asking probably. Does it have a professional course like that?
It's a pre-college course, only till 12th standard. Vocational course is there, that is different, but it's not like diploma or polytechnic as what they are asking. It's not like that.
Okay, okay, all right, great. So thank you so much for that. Are there any other questions? Otherwise, we can close. Its time is now running short. It's 8:30, so we have maybe another 5 minutes grace because of the interruption in between. But other than that, I think you all have been wonderful panelists, and I have also learned quite a lot about NIOS from you all. So thank you for that.
The NIOS grading, when they get their marks, do they get like how CBSE and maybe CBSE gets really high marks, like, 90 plus? Everybody is usually 90 plus. Is that how NIOS also works? So it's because we read online that they get much lesser than what CBSE gets.
Yeah, who can answer the question?
I think I can answer that because a few years ago in 2015, my daughter appeared for her class 10 NIS exams. And I'm not sure if that is because of the location in Kolkata. I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but the marks were way lower than what you would expect from that performance in a CBSE or an ICSE exam. I think they are very stringent with the, I mean, they're very strict with the marking. I don't know if the panelists would agree with that.
Yeah, but it's not common for all the areas. Sometimes I accept with your point. Yeah, I agree with you, but it's not in all the cases. I have seen very good marks also, those who are not have the proper input also. I have seen many children, and from the other centers also they have discussed with me that. So they have gets very good marks also.
But overall, I feel that the NIS is a very viable option for Indian homeschooling parents. And I want to thank the panelists once more for their time and for the inputs. The recording will be available on the Unlisted Christian Homeschoolers India channel, for which I want to thank Elizabeth also for allowing us to host this session, this Zoom session. And the details of the panelists also will be shared along with the video. So thank you all for this wonderful session, and goodbye, good night, God bless. Thank you.